This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. There's reporting just this morning that Donald Trump has now spent like $40 million in legal fees to defend himself against the prosecution that is inevitably going to come for his many crimes, his serial criminality. $40 million. And you know, but many don't know, that he's not cutting a check out of his personal checking account. These legal bills are being paid for by a series of PACs, his Save America Legal Fund PAC, or there's a few of them. And he's paying for the legal bills of his accomplices, for his co-conspirators. It's a nightmare. I mean, it's a boon if you're a defense attorney related to the Trump camp. It's great for you. But the people that are footing the bill are the MAGA faithful, the people who work hard for their money. They got jobs. They go to work. They put in a 40-hour week, maybe more, and then they donate to the Trump campaign to try to extricate their MAGA king from the legal morass that he finds himself in. It baffles listen, if Joe Biden was going through this, you know who wouldn't be giving him money? This guy. There's not a chance that I would be funding some politician and their legal defense. That came as a result of serial criminality, obstruction of justice and witness tampering and violating the Espionage Act and many trying to end democracy in America. But that's a virtue to the MAGA faithful. Anyway, so his attorney was on Fox News this weekend, Alina Habba, who herself is, I'm sure, flush with cash, representing the Donald Trump. And she made the worst excuse possible. I've watched these clips a couple of times, and I've said to myself, maybe there's another angle here. Maybe she meant something else. But there's really no, I got two, and the second one is even worse than the first. It's almost as if she's saying Donald Trump wouldn't have not turned over the surveillance footage. He wouldn't have tried to delete it because if he wanted to delete it, he's so good at crime, he would have just done it. Donald Trump is not a befuddled moron who can't commit basic crime. He's good at that. He would have committed it and done it well. Anyway, watch this first clip and then wait, because the second one is it's a doozy.
But they would like the American public to believe in these bogus indictments, that there are some facts that say that President Trump was obstructing justice. When he has his turn in court and when we get to file our papers, you will see that every single video, every single surveillance tape that was requested was turned over. If President Trump didn't want something turned over, I assure you that is something that could have been done. But he never would act like that. Okay, he is the most ethical American I know.
He's the most ethical American I know. Come on, it strains. It's not. Nobody says that. Trump barely says that. He's the most ethical. You scamp, Alina Habba. Look, here's the deal. The Trump defense works in a day-to-day, week-to-week cycle of convincing MAGA Americans of what the talking points are. Because I can assure you, having read hundreds of indictments, having been in the process in a grand jury room about how it works, it's not hunches that they bring before the grand jury and then have them vote to indict or not. It's not, here's what we think, you guys can trust us, it's fine. It's voluminous evidence. Jack Smith and this grand jury poured over evidence that Donald Trump tried to have those servers deleted. There are going to be text messages. There are likely going to be surveillance video and audio of it taking place. It's not a hunch. But because the news cycle, the propaganda cycle for them, doesn't care about the facts or ultimately what will be found out, They're trying to convince MAGA Americans what the talking points are now. I promise it's going to get worse for this particular clip, not going back to my basic mantra that it's going to get worse before it gets better. But listen to this. It really is. She's trying to convince Shannon Bream, the Fox News propagandist in the anchor seat here, that Donald Trump he's just too good at crime. If he wanted the crime done, he knows how to get it done. Watch this.
I mean, they're in custody of the Justice Department, but the question is, was there an attempt to try to make sure that didn't happen?
Well, let's be clear. If there was an attempt by somebody who lives in a home, take out President Trump, who owns a company, he owns it, he owns the IT, he pays for all these employees. If there was an attempt for him to not turn over documents or he wanted something deleted, do you not think that that's something he couldn't have gotten done? Let's just use common sense.
Does it sound
I think
like
the American
there
public
was an
forgets
effort?
to use common sense.
I mean, that's the allegation, is that he did try to talk to these employees, and that these employees said, we may have to talk to someone else. I don't know that I can even do that.
Shannon, I know the facts, and the facts are when President Trump gets a subpoena, it goes to the organization turns it over. That is what actually happened. I've been an attorney for the president during this whole process, and I can assure you that is not the case.
Oh.
Except we know from the speaking indictment that is not the case, that Donald Trump rebuffed the advances of the subpoenas. He rebuffed the advances of hey, give us our documents back. They're not yours. Finally, it went to subpoena, and then he denied that. He just defied the entire process. So your lies are just that, Alina Habba, lies. It is just disgusting defense of the indefensible. That Donald Trump, he knows how to get shit done. He knows how to be a criminal. He would have absolutely gotten this done. Like we haven't witnessed Donald Trump on a national and international stage being a befuddled goof at every turn. I mean, if Donald Trump knew how to get stuff done, we would have a healthcare plan instead of promising it for 2 weeks, for week after week after week after week after week after week after week. We would have an infrastructure plan implemented by Republicans and Donald Trump if indeed he knew how to get things done. We would have hundreds of miles of border wall paid for by Mexico if he knew how to get shit done. You tell on yourself, dum-dum. Donald Trump is not capable. Donald Trump fell ass backwards into money from his father, the slumlord. He never created anything other than a system of granting permission for racists to be openly racist in our society. What do you do with this? Anyway, what do you think? Just because you're a criminal doesn't mean you're a good one, right? Leave a comment below. We can talk about it there. It helps to juice up the algorithm, have me recommended and this channel recommended to new potential viewers, changing hearts and minds as we go. If you appreciate what I do, if I bring you value on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, please consider supporting my work. Click the join button below. Become a channel member for $2 a month. Hit that super thanks button or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Follow me on the social media. I am at Dollemore just about everywhere. Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and Threads and Facebook, and I'm sure there's some others. Too many to remember. If that's your thing, follow me there. And I will see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.